Hola a todos y bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo de Tangle Tower. Estamos justo donde lo dejamos después de sacar conclusiones sobre Félix y Flora, después de averiguar que el cuchillo del cuadro no es un cuchillo sino una pluma, y nos vamos a ir a la parte de los pointers de la torre. Creo que aquí puede estar Poppy, ¿verdad? Sala de música, y aquí tenemos a Poppy Pipi. Mucha lámpara. Farolillos de papel. Bueno. ¿Qué es esto? Se parece a lo que hay fuera, ¿no?
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
Ah, no me había dado cuenta de los cristales. Estatua de la bocina. Una estatua brillante de una extraña criatura que sostiene una gran bocina. Hay una apreciable grieta que recorre toda la bocina de la estatua. Dentro de la bocina y por debajo, en el suelo, hay fragmentos de cristales rotos. Se parece al bicho que hay fuera, donde los jardines. Vale.
All right, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion.
¿Los cuadritos de detrás son algo?
There's a faded mural on the wall.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
No. ¿Los cristales me vas a decir algo?
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little
Well,
trumpet.
it
Okay,
is.
no.
With all the broken glass.
Vale. Esto aquí supongo que son
Sheet
partituras.
music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor.
Un violín.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
Funda.
Who plays the violin, I
Ah,
wonder?
So
lo
I'm
mismo.
guessing
Ok, ok.
nobody.
Tener las velas tan al lado de los libros no me provoca confianza.
One old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
¿Los has contado?
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
25 libros, 4
Ya.
velas.
Am I the
Sí.
only one seeing the problem?
Gracias, gracias. Yo también. Vale, vale. Bien. ¿Qué es esto? Un
It's a globe.
mundo. Ah, un mundo. Un globo terráqueo.
4 globing.
Globear. Las
Smells
columnas.
like a forest in here.
Ahora hay mucha planta.
That's just daylight, right?
What else would it be?
El piano.
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
Por supuesto. ¿Del suelo me dices algo?
Alright, you got
No,
the
ok,
spooky
vale.
murder mansion.
En las plantas. Ok. Pues, Poppy. ¿Cómo estamos?
Are you a ghost?
Sally, that's rude. Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
Sobre ti.
I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
Ah,
How are you
maravilloso.
related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer.
Ah, el
The
profesor es tu padre.
Spends most of his time hidden away in his tower.
¿Y con Fitz qué
Speaks to
tienes que
anyone
ver?
these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... Things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer. 3
Vale.
and a half
¿Qué
hours
hiciste
of
ayer?
piano practice. Soon as I wake up.
Ok.
Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Probablemente, claro.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side.
O sea,
He's
vuestras
been teaching
habitaciones
me about
conectan.
flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Le hemos preguntado, ¿tienes relación con los Fellow? Dice, no. Fifi y Freya. Me acabas de decir que Fitz te estaba
You
explicando
ignored each
cosas.
I didn't say that.
Tiene una cara de pasmada bastante
Fitz
intensa.
and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon.
Vale.
Then we heard this sound.
Un grito
Lasted about
inhumano.
3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different.
Algo taladrando un trozo de metal, pero diferente, peor. O no escuchaste el mismo ruido que el resto de personas, o tú lo escuchaste de forma diferente. A ver, yo creo que esta, comparada con el resto, tiene que tener mejor oído porque es música, ¿no? Bueno, música. Es pianista.
I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door.
Claro.
I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The 3 of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Vale. Por ahora coincide bastante con el resto de declaraciones.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling, stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
¿Me vas a hablar así de cada uno? Sí.
Foregone drifter, holding fast, days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender, accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom some 4 walls make round a room?
Vale, de Fifi, ¿qué me cuentas?
Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze. With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. On its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will. Hard of head, but free of mind, unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond, behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be. Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way. That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects.
Y no
Always
tienes
thought
poema.
that would be kind of cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
Vale, te voy a preguntar sobre las 500 cosas que tengo aquí.
So there are two families living in Tangle Town?
Dos. Los Fellow y los
3
Pointer.
pointers and 5 fellows.
Vale.
4 fellows.
Vale.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora is a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the Fellows and the Pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
Eso que ha dicho de que... Hostias. Eso de que ha dicho de que depende de a quién preguntes. Félix también es dueño de la casa. Me hace sospechar de Penélope. Porque, ¿y si a quien iban a matar de verdad no era Freya, sino era Flora? Y como Penélope subía con Félix... ¿Subía con Félix? Creo que sí, ¿no? Subía con Félix. ¿Es que Félix tenía algo que ver? Es que no lo sé.
No idea.
Ah, tu madre se piró y ya está. Vale.
There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful. This is mine.
Sí, ¿qué es?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
La
What
estatua
do you
del
make of the
arpa.
statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah. Weird.
Ah, o sea, no tienes ni idea. Ok.
Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone? Or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you. When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out.
¿Por qué no es
Should've
un
never said
cuchillo?
Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do.
Esto es tuyo, el
It was my
gramófono.
mother's originally.
Tu madre.
So why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Esto también
Does
es
this belong to you,
tuyo.
Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody? What was inside?
Nothing.
Oh, you've been to the greenhouse? What did you think?
Impressive, I guess. But kind of unsettling, with Fitz lurking in the shadows the whole time.
Yeah, he does that. Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh, never seen him use it.
Quiero mirar un segundo la
All right.
carta.
Poppy's bedroom is
I wonder
on.
what's in there.
Ok, luego. Quiero mirar la carta. ¿Por qué? O sea, esta carta no tiene No tiene... Vale. No tiene iniciales ni nada. Luego, esta cosa... PPFF. La tía esta dice que nunca ha visto a Fitz usarlo. No me acuerdo qué dijo Fitz sobre esto. Pero esto estaba en el cuarto de Fitz. Es que no sé por qué estoy pensando todo el rato en Félix y Penélope. Todo el rato. Vamos a seguir preguntándote el libro de Ave. Exacto. Gente pequeña.
No.
No, lo tenía House Show.
We have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think?
Las
Why is
pinturas.
the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff. Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
Pues
I
como
thought you and Fifi were close
cualquier
friends.
persona, ¿no?
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it. Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Con
There's something wrong with
Fitz.
that? I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes.
A ver, aquí, porque aquí faltas tú,
This is a
¿verdad?
photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable. Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly.
Oh, how nice.
Vale.
How sweet. Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
Vale, pero no sabes quién es.
There's something about that diary we found in Fifi's room. Something suspicious.
Let's
El...
ask her about it.
¿Qué? Vale, pues vamos ahora porque no tengo ni idea de qué me estáis contando. Entonces vamos a ver. Hola, querida. ¿Cómo te encuentras?
Is
Tengo una
this your
sospecha.
diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
Para
You
que nadie lo
seriously
lea.
require an explanation. Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10
So, there are secrets written here?
and this particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
Ah, es que no sé qué sospecha tienen estos porque yo no he sacado ninguna sospecha sobre esto. ¿El diario es de otra persona o no es ningún diario? ¿Y si es un álbum de fotos o algo así? ¿No es ningún
It's not a
diario?
diary at all.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
Vale, otra vez, supongo, es de otra
It's
persona.
somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was.
That's not it.
Es que no sé qué está buscando.
sense, but no.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Vale. Ah. Vale. Este libro azul se parece un poco al diario secreto, lo que demuestra que era de Freya.
This blue book is somewhat similar to the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. This blue book
Okay.
is the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
You were hiding Freya's diary in your room, and you kept it locked, too.
Why would I do either of these things?
¿Por qué lo harías? Fi. Que no quería que nadie viera los secretos personales del diario de Freya.
Fifi didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
Is this true, Fifi?
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something,
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way. By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
Pero que ha
might be
matado a alguien o
easier if you
algo.
just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Very well. I will open it. However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
Vale.
Alright, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Finally. What's in there?
Vale. Ha vuelto, esta vez en carne y hueso. ¿Fui yo? ¿Lo dejé salir? Tal vez debería romper este cuadro. El portaalmas funciona. ¡Qué cosita más impresionante! Ahora tengo 2, necesito otros 2 más. He encontrado el camino hasta el medio, sorprendentemente fácil en comparación con el arpa. Los he visto. A los 5, los ojos se oscurecieron. Pese a todo, aún tengo una promesa que cumplir. Haré lo que pueda. A ella le vendría bien algo de compañía. Bueno, ya que estoy aquí te voy a preguntar sobre estas
A
cosas
wooden
y ya
carving
está.
of my father, made by my father.
Ajá.
Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint.
¿Te lo cuento o te lo explico? Bueno, le voy a enseñar todas estas cosas a todos, ¿vale? Y si hay algo interesante, pues os lo pongo, si no, lo salto y ya está. Lo vamos a dejar ya por aquí porque ya sabemos que Fifi guardaba el diario de Freya. Freya escribió unas cosas un poco raras, no les encuentro ningún sentido. Y no hemos encontrado nada nuevo, la verdad. Hemos hablado con Poppy y yo creo que ha sido suficiente. Así que nos vemos en el próximo vídeo. Adeu.